Are you gonna take your shirt off for this too?
No.
Why not?
Reppin' Stagwell.
Alright, Chuck.
Although... Steg? Wow.
It's a stego.
Wow. 5, 4, 3, 2.
2 and 1 are silent.
Oh. 5, 4, 3. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to a review of Dave, Season 2, Episode 3. The name of the episode is The Observer. He's Dustin.
The Observer.
I'm Homie. We do a podcast called The Podcast. If you like people talking about random stuff really well, please subscribe and like. And if you like Dave, like and subscribe. Even if you don't like us and you like Dave, like and subscribe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, I don't need to explain it.
Yeah. Okay.
So episode 3.
Episode 3, The Observer.
The Observer.
Whoo!
I think I dislike this one more than the other two, honestly.
Really? The level of anxiety it created.
The whole thing was so tough.
It weirdly created more anxiety in this episode than it did in the first episode. I actually really like this episode.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
I don't know if it made more anxiety, but it definitely didn't tone it down. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the first scene.
Okay.
So how would you describe what we saw in the opening of the episode?
They're working on music, right? And he's like, it's too thick or too thin. It's got to be just right.
Yeah.
I'm with him. Yeah.
Describe Benny and Dave in the first scene of this.
Does it immediately devolve into them just homoing around the house?
That's what they should have called the episode.
Isn't that
homoing around the house?
I mean, that's what I saw.
I don't know how it devolved into that.
It did pretty quickly.
It was very uncomfortable. I was thinking to myself if I've ever watched anything more gay, and I don't think I have.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure those dudes are both heterosexual.
Yeah. Yeah. They tried. I mean, he went in for the kiss, and he was like, no, I'm not attracted.
I'm not a gay guy. Yeah, I'm okay with all the other petting.
But let me put my balls on your head.
Super weird. I thought we sort of called it in the last podcast where we said Betty is like a sage to Dave, and we said he's untouchable and doesn't give a F about what anybody cares.
Yes.
And I think we kind of nailed that.
I thought the same thing. As soon as he's like, do you know what a producer credit is? Do you know what this?
Yeah.
And I was like, there's the sage Benny right there.
And then it devolved into weird.
Yeah.
I had a note. The taco looked amazing.
I wasn't.
The taco looked amazing.
I really wasn't paying attention. That's funny.
Did Benny Blanco in that episode remind you of any of your friends, any of my friends that are mutual friends amongst us?
So I was going to make a note of this. That you and I would obviously never come anywhere near behaving like that.
Hope not.
But we have mutual friends who I have seen act that way.
Do you have a friend in particular that you think?
I'm not going to call anyone out right now.
Just tell me what his name starts with, the letter. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So you had that same note?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've watched it happen and been just as uncomfortable as I was with that episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rhymes with romance. Let's just say that.
But you can't put someone on blast like that, right?
We just did.
I mean, he might be proud of it.
I don't like that side of our friend.
I don't either. But I mean,
it comes from a loving place.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that's kind of like the point. I feel like the point of the episode, right? Like, on one hand, it's like, yeah, whatever, if that's what they feel like doing, then whatever. But on the other hand, it's like Gata and Gata's friend going, you're just rich white dudes with nothing to do in a big house.
As they were doing all that shit, I was thinking of like, what would Gata do if he saw this? And the irony of it is Gata was about to get LD's tattoo on his face, and they missed the line when Gata and his buddy come over. I thought Gata was going to say, man, I almost got your name tattooed on my face.
That might have been better.
That would have been a good line, right?
Yeah.
I really saw it coming, but it didn't come. Benny Blanco's untouchable. He doesn't care what anybody thinks. I respect it. I have a note about Benny Blanco here. we did a podcast about Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah,
Joseph
Gordon-Levitt,
and how he's racially ambiguous.
Yeah.
And how you probably couldn't guess his ethnicity. If you guys should watch that video. It's probably the best we've ever done.
That one is hilarious. Yeah.
What ethnicity is Benny Blanco? Is he like Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that he could be anything?
Maybe.
Mexican?
He is
black, white,
Jewish,
Spanish,
though,
Portuguese.
right?
Is he Jewish? Is Benny Blanco Jewish?
I think they've dropped some Jewish stuff. Like, weren't they? Oh, he was telling him when he was telling him to calm down. He was like, "Do your." It sounded Yiddish.
Thing.
Yeah,
Yiddish,
it sounded.
Hebrew.
I think he might be Jewish.
All right,
but you're onto something there.
Okay, so Dave and Benny are gay with each other.
No, it's just
not
a bromance.
Gay, but just bromancing with
bromance.
each other. Gaeta comes over with his buddy, and then we have Mike, aka Andrew Santino, on the other end, just being a 50-year-old man.
Oh, dude.
Which I didn't understand that plot until the end. I thought it came together really well. What do you think of Mike and his old man day?
I really relate. I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I know. I think I know what that feels like.
I like that he committed to putting the camera outside and figuring out who left that note. I think that's really cool because we've all had something happen to our house and we're like, I'm just going to stay out for the next 80 hours and figure out who did it. And we never do it. And
the dog keeps shitting in my yard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that, like, none of that would have happened if Dave had just been around, right?
Exactly.
So it's like, he's in this house all by himself. Yeah. Like, his whole point in being there is to manage Dave.
Yeah.
No one's around, let alone Dave.
Right.
So he's just stuck to his own devices, like, where are my friends? What is going on?
And Dave said something with Benny where he's like, yeah, I don't really hang around with Mike. It's hard hanging out with your manager or something like that.
Right.
So they're definitely growing apart. He's growing apart from Els. He's growing apart from Mike. And this kind of brings me back to the Entourage parallel. I know you don't watch Entourage, but for the people watching, where Vince kind of grows away from Eric because Eric is his manager and it's hard to have someone managing you that's your friend. So it looks like Dave sees him as more of a supervisor than a buddy.
Right, so it's like they've crossed that line and he doesn't really see him as a friend anymore?
Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah. The gum in the butthole. So,
wait, hold on. Do you think Gaeta actually got a Master Splinter tattoo? Because that's pretty tight.
That would be cool. That'd be a really cool tattoo.
Okay, yeah. Let's move on to the gum in the butthole.
So
I really can't wait to talk about that.
So Dave puts gum in his butthole, in Benny Blanco's butthole, so he could blow a bubble. Good. And you really didn't like this episode, huh?
I really didn't. No. You know what made me the most uncomfortable? It's not like all the closeness that they have, the cuddling and the weird shit in the shower and all that. It's the pet name that they just won't get off of. Chuck.
For no reason, hey Chuck, whatever Chuck.
That annoyed me so much.
That was so weird.
Yeah.
That was super weird. And I don't know if there's like a underlying thing with that name. It doesn't sound like it was. It sounds like it was just a
it was just like something that happened because it was a slip when he mentioned ground Chuck.
Yeah.
Or someone Chuck brings it over and it slipped out and then it became like a cool little inside joke that they have.
That was gross.
But have you ever had that happen where you start spending time with a new friend a lot and then maybe, a few days later, all of a sudden you take a step back and you're like, you realize you've been like pronouncing words the same way that they do or something like you picked up.
You build a subculture within one another.
Yeah, like you picked up something from that weird, that intense like new relationship.
Yeah.
This was too much of that.
Way too much. I have some really good one-liners.
Okay.
Benny Blanco, gum in his butt. They take it out with peanut butter, so there's hair and peanut butter and gum in this thing. And Dave goes to throw it away, and Benny Blanco goes, "Wait, don't throw that away!" Because he liked the way it looked. He thought it was a masterpiece. I thought that was hilarious. He's like, "This is so avant-garde." Hey, don't throw that away was really funny.
I mean, if you have as much money as Benny Blanco, I guess that's the way you find value in life, right?
Zero shame.
In the weird things you do with your friends. You can buy whatever. You can't really buy a ass hair piece of bubble gum with peanut
gum
butter
on it. He finds it beautiful. Yeah, he already has the Rembrandts.
Oh my god.
Gaeta and his buddy come to Dave and Benny Blanco's house, and one of the guys goes, "I like your overalls," and Dave goes, "Thanks, they're Benny's. I slept in them last night." And the two guys don't hear it at all.
I didn't hear it either. I thought he said something like I slept over or something.
He goes, "They're Bennies. I slept in them."
Dude.
And it's such a crazy thing to say that I don't think it registers to the person that hears them.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we find out it's Mike's birthday.
Wait. Hold on. There's more.
What?
There's more Gata showing up.
Okay.
He tells him about the Shapeshifter, the new game that they invented.
We were playing Shapeshifters. It's like where I splashed water under his butt until he gets a boner or something.
Dude. What?
Some super gay shit.
What is happening, dude?
Oh, okay. He's shifting his shape. I never understood. Okay, all right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's too much.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Mike thing.
All right, yeah, sure, we can move.
So
we're coming back, though. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
All right.
So last review we did, we said we kind of don't like Dave. And we got a little pushback in the comments saying, well, he's a flawless human being.
Yeah. It would be boring if he didn't have...
He was just perfect.
Yeah.
But forgetting your manager and really good friend's birthday and just calling him last minute and just letting him, he's the reason, you're the reason he's out there. Yeah. That was kind of inexcusable. And I got to say, I don't like Dave. Like, I don't really love Dave in this season 2. I liked him a lot more in season 1.
Yeah, for sure.
He's kind of a dick. He's kind of selfish. Mm-hmm. And I think it's okay. I don't like him. I usually really like the main character of shows I watch. In this situation, I don't love Dave. I just don't.
Well, okay, hold on.
Neurotic.
Let's look at it this way. That must be the showmaker's intention, right? Mm-hmm, because who is the person that does like this Dave? Why would anyone?
Yeah, no one does right now.
You have to be so hard on his side
that
you wouldn't see any of these things as faults, right? But nobody's that oblivious.
Right.
We're all in the same boat. So we're all watching this going, why is Dave being such an asshole right now?
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, they did it. Like if that's what they set out to do, they achieved it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's a little different than like the Entourage and Rami and Elena and shows like that are similar to me, because the main character is usually like really thoughtful about his friends.
Right.
And Dave is not.
Right.
And that's just a really unattractive character or characteristic in someone to me.
So do you think that he will have a redeeming arc this season, or is this like the real Dave that we are getting to know now for the first time?
I think that's a good question. I don't know.
Okay. You think that cricket is going to be through all the audio of this entire episode?
What do you have about Mike?
So
don't you feel bad for him?
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like I've definitely had those days where you're like, especially when it's like summer.
Yeah.
You've spent so much time with your buds. Like you've been chilling.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like maybe you take a break, like you got to dip out to work or something. Yeah. And you try to join back in the group.
Yeah.
But they're gone. Like
Yeah.
You can't assimilate back now.
It's just a lonely day.
It's a lonely, like you dipped out and now you're not a part of it. But it's also that FOMO too. Like you know what's happening because you were just there. You had all that fun before.
Right.
And now it's gone.
Yeah.
Something makes like, there's some days I think that feels so much worse.
On your birthday.
especially on your birthday.
I feel bad for the guy. He's kind of he could be uptight, but it's his... Oh, I have a prediction with Mike.
Okay.
I think he might manage another artist. That would make sense to me.
Wow.
Like if Lil Dicky's going to take him for granted, I could see Mike starting to manage another artist. I think that'd be a really cool plot.
He partners up with, like, him and Els become buds.
That could happen. I was thinking like a really young rapper. Like a really young, like 18, 19-year-old rapper.
Wow.
That's kind of what I was seeing.
Dude, or Gata.
I could see that.
Whoa.
I could see that. Gata's just so loyal to Dave, though.
I mean, yeah. They could have a little fallout.
Yeah.
Especially with a buddy like Tone on his shoulder. Mm-hmm. Constantly like, dude, you're on that guy's that dick. Like,
Benny Blanco has a anal cancer scare. It ends up being a hemorrhoid. They go to the dermatologist, and Dave sees Allie's name on the dermatologist list. calls her, she doesn't answer, texts her, he feels blocked, ends up showing up at her house.
Yeah.
She is hopped up off pain meds and just adorable and hilarious, and once again, one of the best actresses of all time.
Wow, you like that?
She was funny. Really good actress. You didn't like it.
All of it was like, it was uncomfortable. Like, you should not be here at all.
Dave, you mean?
Yeah.
Because she was out of it.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, as someone who has just been on quite an oxy stint from breaking my back, doctor prescribed, I really don't want, like, I would not want an ex coming around, like,
that's a good point.
While I'm
I didn't think about that. She was more vulnerable than she would have been if she wasn't on pain meds. Somehow that never crossed my mind.
That's crazy. Because you're you're so infatuated with her.
I just love Allie, dude. I just love Allie.
Yeah.
I'm glad she was back. It was nice to see her face. Great actress. I think she needs to be in more stuff. I hope she gets like her own show or something someday. They kind of rekindle a tiny bit before Dave throws up on her back.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Roll credits. Any other notes? I think that's it. I think we covered episode 3 pretty well. The review shouldn't be longer than the episode, should it?
How long was the episode?
30.
How long has this gone on?
I don't know. Do you have any last notes?
That's quite a thing to say. I really love when Benny Blanco's talking to Gator, like, you've never seen his asshole before.
Aren't you curious?
And he's like, okay, gun to your head, your mom's about to die, you gotta suck the guy's dick with the gun.
Yeah. They all going to heaven.
They all going to heaven. I love that line. Nope, they all going to heaven.
It's not a bad alternative. Yeah. I respect it.
How about it's better to be right than be happy?
The Observer. I like that line.
Or the opposite, I think. But
it's better to be happy than to be right.
Yeah.
And then Mike goes, yeah, I've never heard that before. I couldn't tell if he was being sarcastic or not. There was a weird LA Hollywood subtext with Benny Blanco all about the environment and him showing the plastic bottles in the fridge. Like the hypocrisy of people in Hollywood preaching one thing and doing the next.
Right.
And also Lil Dicky throwing away his styrofoam peanuts. And those should have been recycled or something like that.
Right.
And Dave, I don't know if you know about Lil Dicky Dave, but he did like some Earth song, and he's like all about the environment is like his thing.
Right.
So there was some like hypocrisy statement there, which I thought was pretty cool.
Wow.
You know these celebrities don't give a fuck.
No, man. No. Not at all. It's better to be happy than it is to be right. Mm-hmm. That phrase. It always makes me think of something when I'm driving.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people's gravestones that say I had the right of way.
That's hilarious.
And I think about that all the time.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, we're driving vehicles, hundreds of pounds of metal, and the only thing like keeping us from hitting each other is little lines on the...
Yeah. Just the pettiness of after death still having the
pettiness.
I like that.
You can be as stubborn as you want about what happened, but
you're dead.
Just about survival at the end, you know.
Yeah, don't be so stubborn about, especially in business dealings, right? Like you could be right about something in business dealings, and you could have to give more than you initially agreed upon. But if it ends up being less headache and you end up making the money, just do the thing. Like
if it's better in the long run
Don't fight over ego. Thanks for watching, guys. Maybe we'll do episode 4. Who knows? Do you like the car in the background?
We put a car there.
It's
different.
Thanks.
No
podcast has a red car in the background.